Good day, everyone, and welcome to Journey of the Anointed with Mr. Buzz. Got some etymology to do here by request. Just given a list of 6 words and asked to look into the etymology of them. First thing I want to say when I do this, I'm no expert at etymology. I'm a brand new student of it, actually. I'm highly interested in it. There's always something right on the surface that's interesting right off the bat. So even someone who doesn't really know how to do much with etymology, there's always, as I say, you just really type in etymology in the word and you're going to see something interesting almost every time. But to really get into etymology, it's a very complicated study. It's the etymologist that I know of the best is named John Allegro. He's the one who analyzed the Dead Sea Scrolls. And when you listen to him talk about it, there's really a lot to know. And as I dive into this, I've just learned a lot just from doing these 6 words. I learned what intensive prefixes are. I learned, all kinds of these different terms that I'd never heard before. So it's actually very educational for me to do this. So I'll give you what I did learn here. I do have some information. It's not thorough, but it's something for you. So the first word was understand. And this comes from Old English, a combination of the words under and standen, S-T-A-N-D-A-N, which originally meant, it doesn't mean under actually originally, it originally meant to stand in the midst of. So the under means in the middle of. It doesn't mean underneath something originally. It does now. So Jordan Maxwell was somebody who used to talk about this a lot. When a policeman asks you, do you understand? What he's probably meaning to say is, do you stand under me, I'm above you, and I have authority over you? So that's where the whole idea of saying I understand instead of I understand. Because if you say you understand, you're not claiming to be under that person and giving that person authority over you. So that's the problem with that word, what's happened in the modern day. Originally, it was not meant that way. What I found said that under used to mean in the midst of, or in the middle of, or even between or among. And of course, standen means to stand. And this also comes from Proto-Indo-European NTER, which means between or among. So, yeah, that's what I found out about that word. Next word was visualize. And this is from the Latin word videre, V-I-D-E-R-E, which means to see. And a late Latin word, visualis, the word visual with is on the end of it, which means of sight. So then we have visus, V-I-S-U-S. I'm sorry, I don't know how to pronounce these old Latin words and stuff. Visus, a sight, a looking, power of sight, thing seen, or appearance. So that's the meaning of visus, which this comes from. There's all these different forms of the words too. Yeah, that's the part I'm still really trying to sort out. The different forms of the words can get very confusing. But this one definitely was from Latin anyway. It's definitely Latin. It's a combination of the word visual and the suffix eyes. The suffix eyes, I-Z-E, means the making of something. That's always what it means. So, the making of a site, right? That's what it is, the making of a site. In 1817, my favorite poet, Samuel Taylor Coleridge, in Biographia Literaria, he coined this as to perceive in the mind only. I like that meaning of it. That's kind of cool. Perceive in the mind only. Next word was realize. And this one is from French. From the French word realize, really say, I don't know how you say it. Real with I-S-E-R on the end of it. And it means to make real. Again, you have the I-Z-E suffix. So that means the making of something. We have the adjective real and the suffix "eyes." Indicates something being made, yes. The word real. Sometimes you can take a word and keep going back again and again and again. It came from this one. Well, that one came from this one, and that one came from this one. And it just goes on and on. So, real comes from the old French word real, R-E-E-L, which comes from the Latin realis, R-E-A-L-I-S, which comes from the Latin word res, which means deed, event, matter, or thing. So, basically saying it's a noun, right? A matter, a thing, an event, a deed. And this word was also used as to convert something into assets or cash. So let's say you had maybe an idea. You had a business idea. And then you go and do it and you make money. You've realized your idea. Your idea has now been realized because it's been turned into something tangible. So you could almost say the word means to turn something into something tangible. Yeah. And there's two spellings of it. I didn't know this. The English or UK version is R-E-A-L-I-S-E, and the US version has a Z instead of the S. There's a lot of words like that, but Canada goes with the UK version of things. So, because we are a Commonwealth country, so whatever the UK spelling is, that's the one we do here. Next we have aware. This is from Old English, gewaar, G-E-W-A-E-R, which means watchful or vigilant. And it's a combination of, then we have German word, gewaar. There's another version in German, which is almost spelled the same. It's G-E-W-A-H-R. And this one is a combination of the intensive prefix g, G-E, pretty simple, and waraz, W-A-R-A-Z, which means wary or cautious. And the intensive prefix g just means totally, like thoroughly. You can translate it as thoroughly. So it's just to really intensify the meaning of that prefix. And in Proto-Indo-European, the root W-E-R, in Proto-Indo-European, the root is W-E-R, and it means perceive or watch out for. So pretty much the same thing. Next we have accept. Late Middle English from the Latin word acceptere. So we have, now here's where things get a little confusing. The Latin prefix AD turns into AC here for some reason. And I looked to figure out what that was, why it does that, but it's actually calling it a Latin prefix AD, except it's AC. So anyway, it's that Latin prefix AD, which means to, and capere, which means to take. So the meaning of accept is actually to take something towards oneself, which, yeah, makes perfect sense. And the last one here is believe. I found something really interesting about this that I added. Actually, I put it first because it's so interesting. In Hebrew, the root for believe, which in Hebrew letterings and stuff, I don't know how to even write them down. Hebrew letters are really strange, right? But it shows that it's this little 3-character thing. In Hebrew, the root for believe is the same root from which we get amen. So, amen and believe are kind of the same word in Hebrew. That's pretty interesting. The Latin root word, cred, C-R-E-D, means believe. So, if you think, and that's like credit, credible, credo. There's all kinds of words that come from that Latin root. And if something is incredible, means it can hardly be believed. So that's why we have all those words with cred in them. The cred part means believe. Proto-West Germanic, we have be plus leave. And it means to give leave or permission to. So to believe something is to give leave or permission to it. I believe it, yep, I say okay. To permit, to allow, or to grant. So, some pretty interesting things there. Actually, I really enjoyed doing that. Good list of words to do that with, especially believe. I found the word believe the most interesting of all. So thank you to my friend who asked for that. That was enjoyable, and I'm getting a little better at etymology. I need a how-to book, like Etymology for Dummies or something like that. So thanks for watching, and I hope you all remember that Jesus Christ is the King of all kings.